Hey, it's me, Furry Face. Somebody suggested do a video on cats because I had one back a few years. I was remembering some of his shenanigans, and the way he was. Cats, cute. Yeah, they're always cute. From kittens to adults, they're still cute. Uh, don't you wish people would be like that? There's more cute women in the world, but anyway, where was I? Yeah, cats. You can't take them camping. Not like dogs. Dogs will go anywhere with you, you know. They love you, you know. And the weather doesn't perturb them that much, but cats too finicky, you know. Ugh. Maybe it's because they feel vulnerable out in the woods. I don't know. Because like dogs, they probably smell other animals too, and they're usually bigger than they are. So, yeah. Ugh. I had to call just to go fishing. I wanted to bring my buddy with me. His name was Buddy. But anyway, he was a long-haired domestic putty cat. Cute. Really cute. Anyway, I had to call him like 1,000 times. Come on, buddy, you know. And he's like looking at the sky and trying to pretend he can't hear me or something, you know, because he didn't want to go. Finally, I got him down there. And he stays like a whole 2 minutes and then he wants to go home again. So I had to pack up from fishing and he led the way all the way home too, all down the footpath through the woods and back to the apartment. Anyway, yeah. Once I made a belt for him to let me know because he was an indoor-outdoor cat, you know. I wanted to have the best of both worlds, not just keep him cooped up in a small 1.5 studio apartment with me all the time, you know. And he loved that. But I made a bell for him so he could ring it to let me know when he wanted to go out. Ding, ding, you know, and I'd come over and open the window and he's gone, you know. One day I took, a few 2 seconds to get to the window and I could hear him sigh. Because I took too long to get to the freaking window. I was like, well, excuse me there, Your Majesty, you know. And there's times where he's halfway out the window and he sits down and like, well, are you in or out, you know? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. And there was a time he hid inside a tree sitting on a branch. And I'm looking at him, what the fuck are you doing, you know? So I called him Sylvester for being so brilliant. He wanted to catch birds, you know? Fuck. Sitting on a branch in the tree, that's not too fair, you know? So I yanked him out of the tree and called him Sylvester. I said, you can't do that. It's cheating, you know? Brilliant cat, though. Jeez. And he'd bring home weird shit, too. He must have loved me, that guy. He brought home a snake once, alive, yeah. Just carried it home, you know. And I'm going to make a tea or something, and I think I was in my underwear going down the hallway, and I see a snake. It's like, you know, get on the bed, jump around, get dressed, put the snake in a container and dump it over the back fence. And I wondered if Buddy was looking through the window at me from outside to see what I'd do. He must have thought, man, what a chicken. Fuck, you know, because he carries it home in his mouth. I'm not going to walk around with a snake in my mouth. No, you know. Ugh. And the time I found a mouse, same thing, he brought a mouse home and it was still alive. It's like I'm watching Bonnie and Clyde or something and see something in the corner of my eye just move. And I'm looking, a mouse goes running down the hallway. It's like, what? So I finally corner it after moving the fridge and stove out the way and all this bullshit. Poor mouse was terrified. I can see him behind the stove going, you know, so poor little mouse. And he was cute too. Anyway, I finally got him in a box. But the mouse kept trying to get out, no matter what. And when I put stuff in there I think he could play with, he stacked them all so he could get out of the box. Everything was designed for him to get out of the box. So I was like, oh, never mind. So I had to put him back outside. I think my cat got him later. You know, fuck. Or the time I found a dead sparrow the cat brought in again. You know, it was in my hand, barely alive at all. And he died in my hand. And that was so sad. Fuck. I wish I was Jesus then. I could just touch him and bring him to life and he'd fly away. But yeah, I had to throw him into a tree. I didn't know what to do with the dead bird, so I just threw it into a tree and walked off. You know, shit. Felt bad for the bird though. But, you know. What else with this cat? Oh yeah, I tried to have another cat. That was a mistake. Fuck. was a nice cat too, quiet. It loved, yeah, My buddy wasn't having it. He chased it away in a storm one night and something. It was a stormy night when the cat returned one day. Or it was like the next day or something, but it was stormy out and the cat returned, so I let it in. And buddy wanted to attack him, so I had to fucking put him in a cage. He was brought in and phoned the people that bought him, and they lived out in some countryside somewhere out in Rawdon, which was pretty far from where I was, like 60 miles or something. And the guy had to come and pick up the cat, and he blamed me for not making my cat accept it. Well, I can't do that. My cat's a real picky son of a bitch. Oh, fucking, he was going to beat up the other cat too much, so I couldn't have that. He wouldn't have accepted it. He thought I was, what? That I was going to take my love off of him and give it to another cat? That's not what I was doing, but sometimes animals think that. So it's like, fuck. And my cat had me check everything. He had me open the closets, all the closets in my apartment, the cupboards, everything. And he'd inspect them himself personally to make sure I wasn't keeping the other cats anywhere. It's like, he didn't even trust me. It's like, oh my God. Finally, it was over, and he trusted me a little. I didn't, that the other cat wasn't there. Fuck, what a pain. But I miss Buddy. His demise was worse. I had fun times with him, playing hide and seek. I was trying to hide in the hallway a bit, but he's in a doorway, and I can see his tail sticking out, and I said, I can still see your tail. Then all of a sudden he pulls his tail back in like he's hidden now, but I still knew where he was. So I'm walking down the hallway thinking, where's that pretty cat? Where's that pretty cat? And then he comes out and he's in this real cat stance, Bruce Lee style, and it looked brilliant, And I thought, oh, that's so scary, Cute cat, though. I wonder how he was dying. I found out like a month after I had him put down. I didn't have any choice. He was dying and I freaking knew it. He turned in from a fat cat to a cat of, fur and bones. That's what he turned into. And he wasn't eating or drinking anything for like weeks on end. I was really worried. I took him to the bed a couple of times. They didn't know what was wrong. And it cost $100 for an x-ray, which I didn't have. So I was like, fuck, no one's going to help me, pay $100 to get my cat checked out. My family, my sister, why didn't you tell us? I said, well, why would you have done anything? You wouldn't have done nothing. I know that. They like it when I suffer, So I was like, fuck. So I had to put him down later on because he was dying. And I could see it in his eyes getting all weird, and he was making these weird pangs of death sounds. I knew he was on his way out. It's like, fuck. And I didn't want him suffering. So I took him to the vet to be put down, and that cost me, well, not to put him down, it was like $20. But to take care of the matter, $150 and $350 payments. It's like, for fuck's sake. And to throw them in an incinerator? That's pretty well what they do. I should have just took them to the forest and dug a hole and buried them and said a few prayers. I mean, really, and they psych you into it, too. Oh, don't you love your little buddies? They're fucking bastards, Yeah, but you love my money more, it seems. Fuckers, But I do miss them. He was my friend, And I don't have a lot of friends, I can tell you that. No, what I found out was a month later, because I was looking for it, the string I used to play with him with. It was a black nylon fishing line, and he'd go crazy trying to get that. But I couldn't find it. I opened the cupboard, looked in the drawers, not there. He ate the fucking thing, and it got tangles around his intestines. It fits everything he was going through, and it's all for fuck's sake. And he was puking a lot in the first place, too, and I got mad one day and threw him outside in the middle of winter, closed the door. But, of course, I couldn't leave him like that, so I went back out and he zooms in as soon as the door opens, and he was still there. But he came into the apartment saying, I'll be good, Daddy, don't worry, kind of look on his face. I felt so bad. It's like, fuck. But I had to put him down later on because I knew he was dying. I was like, fuck. And I didn't know why, which was a big puzzle for a while until I found that string missing. Stupid cat ate the fucking string, got tangles around his intestines, and caused all that shit. Mind you, if I did do the x-rays and they found that out, it would have costed me probably a few $1,000 to straighten that out. Fuck. But anyway, not that I'm better off having him put down. It sucked. I I never got a cat since, though. And it's expensive now, and I'm so fucking poor, it's unbelievable. At that time, my rent was low, but not anymore. Fuck, I had to change apartments too, because new owners were too fucking noisy. Christ, doing stupid things to annoy me because they knew it did. Leaving the lawnmower out by my window, making its noise, and they weren't even mowing the lawn. They're just leaving the lawnmower by my open window to piss off me. It's like, fuck. And one day I saw a woman pouring water through my living room window all over my stereo and TV, and I'm going, hey, my TV's there. And she actually, oh, you put it there? Well, what are you, a moron? Where else am I going to put my freaking TV, you know? It's like, Christ. Idiots. Anyway, I finally moved, but I cried when I got my first apartment too, because my rent was like $200 more or something. I was paying like $280 where I was, and then I was paying like $350 on my new place, and I was like, oh, fuck's sake! And it wasn't any bigger; it was still a studio apartment. I hate where I'm living now, right next to a 4-lane boulevard. It's freaking noisy as shit. I can only open my door like a smidgen just to let some air kind of get in the place. I had no air circulation. Even if the door was wide open, it wouldn't have any air circulation. So I got fans to cause that. I don't like living here, and everything's too far fucking away to go foraging now. It's getting more difficult for me. When winter comes, I don't know what I'm going to do. But anyway, you don't hear me bitching about other stuff. I'm really here to talk about pretty cats and have their own minds compared to dogs. You know, shit, my video's getting on. It's 11 minutes, 43 seconds. Anyway, toodaloo, kangaroo, see you later, alligator, channel, brown cow, and in a wild crocodile. Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon for more wonderful videos by me. See ya.